Would you like some good quality anime merch? Well, you can get that from our sponsor today, Beautiful Halo, link in the description. And on your next $49 plus order, get 5% off with the code MEME, and $99 plus order use code MEME for 10% off. Right before we begin this video, I just want to shout out my friend Hxmesh. Yes, he's my guy, and he just started a YouTube channel, and go subscribe to him, show him some love. He does Warzone videos. He just started, and his videos are actually kind of way better than mine. I started with 360p videos. He started with 1080p. Ways. Anywho, now if you guys can go subscribe to him, show him some love, I'd appreciate it a lot, and he would too. And anywho, let's get right into the video. Roll the intro. Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is What If Naruto Had the Rinnegan Part 2. And we begin this What If by actually well, by the way, there's no recap. If you want to go watch it, you can watch it. It's literally it's only been a day since I've uploaded it. It's gonna be 2 by the time I upload this, but yeah, you can just go watch it. And anywho, now Naruto, of course, tested Team 7, and they did really good, especially for Genins, especially against someone like him and Anbu, who is literally Jonin plus tier. He's pretty much a Kakashi, just a bit stronger, to be honest. Anywho, now Naruto, after this, still went to celebrate with, Saki. Saki still wanted to go celebrate. Of course, no one really came except for Naruto. Naruto was really happy about how strong she's gotten, and from the last time she's seen. But Saki had a question for Naruto. Of course, while they were having ramen, Saki actually had a question for Naruto. And that was about, well, it was about what Naruto actually did. Like, what the hell? Like, when Naruto was literally fighting Saki, he not only did he let out all of his bloodlust at once, and Saki got, kind of paralyzed, but he actually, his eyes started glowing purple. Of course, Saki was like, wait, what is that? And basically Naruto's like, I don't want to explain it to you right now, and there's no point of it, and there really isn't. Anywho, of course, now Naruto, of course, well, Saki was intrigued by Naruto, by his ways, and then for the next month, of course, Team 7 does D-ranked missions, and of course Naruto is the one who actually sees their training. And Naruto, I know he's only 12, but Naruto's growth is actually much faster than the rest, and he's a bit taller than them by now, and that is because of plot armor. Anywho, now Naruto, of course, after seeing how they all fight against him individually, he can see that Sakura is a close range fighter, and Sasuke is more of a mid-range fighter, while Saki can fight all ranges. And of course, as I said, Saki, sorry guys, police and that man lives in the ends. Anywho, of course, Saki is more of an all range fighter, and so Naruto knows what to do. And just saying, this is like day 1, and so he actually cuts it short for them and says that Sakura shall be actually improving on her mid-range fighting, and Sasuke will be improving in his close range fighting and long range, and Saki will just have to keep improving her all range of fight, and literally long, short and medium range, or mid-range fighting, all of them, and she has to improve in all of them, even though she's actually the strongest right now. And they know, well, Sasuke still thinks that he could beat Saki, but it's not true. Naruto knows Saki's true ability. Saki hasn't really been using all of her strength altogether, but still, it is what it is. And now Naruto, of course, lets them go home, but once he actually enters his house, of course, Saki knocks on his door, and she actually has a question for Naruto. Of course, then Naruto opens and invites her in and asks her what's going on, and basically Saki is like, can I ask you how strong, or how have you gone this strong? And basically Naruto's like, let's see, hard work. And basically Saki's like, wait, no, but like, how, like, don't, you're so strong, like. And basically Naruto's like, Saki, I shouldn't be telling you this, but I was in the Anbu, and this is a secret, only telling you because you're kind of nosy, but is what is, I can trust you, right, Saki? And Saki nods, and she was like, wait, what? Naruto's in the Anbu? Wait, was? But he's only 12. What? And basically she was confused, and she asked, wait, if you were in the Anbu, how are you already out? And basically Naruto then explains that he was actually well in there for a long time, and to be honest, he still sometimes helps out the Anbu, but of course, here and there, and it is what it is. Now, of course, during the next month of training and doing D-rank missions, Naruto literally hasn't even been trying. The only person that actually puts up an well, a decent, literally 1% of his strength. No, I'm joking, a bit more, but of course, the only person who can actually put up an okay fight against Naruto is Saki right now. But of course, Naruto is way too strong, and if Naruto actually was fighting all out, he could have killed them within mere seconds, literally. Walks up to them, decapitates them. They wouldn't even be able to move if Naruto really tried. But of course, that is only because he is a Jonin level ninja, and of course, no one really knows of Naruto's true the rank. It's actually. But of course, if Naruto was to fight all four of them together, I mean all three of them, he would actually have the possibility of losing if he didn't try. But if he really tried, Naruto would easily win. He would easily annihilate all of them. But still, of course, if Kakashi was there, Naruto would definitely lose, because even with Naruto using his Rinnegan, Kakashi is way too smart for Naruto, and he would find out about, Naruto's Rinnegan ability real fast, and especially his cooldown. Because remember, Naruto, I'm pretty sure he only has, well, even myself doesn't know that, and Naruto, I'm pretty sure I gave him only the Almighty Push, the Universal Pull, and the Absorbing Path. I'm pretty sure the absorbing one. Naruto doesn't have anything else. He still doesn't even know about the other four abilities. He will learn them over time, but it is what it is. Now, of course, a month has passed, and Team 7 has been getting bored of the missions, and so Kakashi, is asked by the Hokage if they're ready, and basically Kakashi then says, what do you think, assistant? And basically Naruto then just nods with his eyes closed, and Naruto doesn't really care. Like, remember, Naruto is still kind of pathetic. He's not really been changed much, but still, Naruto really doesn't give a damn, and he's like, yeah, whatever, they're pretty strong. I mean, C rank, well, yeah, they could do it easy. Anywho, of course, they were all happy. Even Sasuke had a smirk on his face, and basically the Hokage then told Tarzan to walk in, and basically once Tarzan walked in, he saw three happy looking kids, and basically and these are the ones who are meant to be protecting me. And basically then of course Saki kind of got pissed off, I'd say, a bit like Naruto, but then Naruto then says, yes, but me and Kakashi Sensei will be part of it. And then Tarzan looks into Naruto's eyes, and Naruto is giving off a glare, literally. Naruto's pretty pissed that he's calling, his and Kakashi's students kids. And I know the kids, even he's a kid, but still, they are much stronger than anyone. He believes they are actually the strongest Genin team. Out of the Rookie 9, yes. Maybe not Neji might be able to beat them, even Lee, but as of right now. But of course, later on, maybe, definitely not. Anywho, now, Naruto, now, after this, no, sorry, I had to stop there. Naruto goes home, and the same as Saki goes home too, and Naruto actually accompanies her. And after this, basically Naruto and Saki actually get to talk on the way home, and basically Saki's like, why did you protect us, Naruto? And basically Naruto's like, you're my students after all. I've taught you myself, you're not weak at all. In fact, if I was never in the Anbu, if I never had all the abilities I have right now, and if I was just if I went through the same training as you, I'm pretty sure I'd be weaker than you. Well, of course, not the training from me, because I'm a higher being, but of course, like, Naruto was just joking there, of course, and Saki kind of laughed, but it is what it is. Naruto's kind of getting closer to Saki in a friendly way, but still, of course, Naruto's really distant from pretty much everyone. He doesn't have many friends, and anywho, after this, of course, Saki, at night, she really couldn't sleep. Well, after all, she is really excited about her new mission, and so she actually goes for a night walk, literally a walk in the night. And so she actually first goes to the roof. Remember, they're actually neighbors, and she actually sees Naruto. Naruto is actually looking up in the sky, and then actually decides to well, stands up and jumps on different rooftops and is heading somewhere. And so Saki actually follows along. And of course, she's doing this really secretly and using her Sharingan, especially because she doesn't want to get too close, and she wants to stay far away but keep a track on Naruto. Anywho, Naruto then is Saki actually follows Naruto all the way to the fourth Hokage stone statue, and she's looking at Naruto. Naruto's just standing up and literally looking up in the sky, and then out of nowhere, Naruto just looks onto the village, and basically Saki from a distance, she's actually watching Naruto, and then Naruto starts speaking to himself, and Saki couldn't really hear him, and so she actually gets closer without Naruto actually realizing, because Naruto really isn't on guard right now, like if he especially because his range of sensory ability is pretty freaking large, but still Saki just on the borderline of Naruto's sensory abilities, because Naruto's not really trying. If he really tried, he could sense throughout the whole entire freaking village. Anywho, now she could hear Naruto a bit more clearly, clearly enough to actually understand what Naruto's saying. But it is what it is. Now Naruto then actually says, "What do I do with this power?" And literally out of nowhere, blue flames started appearing from Naruto's right side, and this is not like this is a Kekkei. Yes, Naruto actually developed this, and I'm only doing this because I like fire. Is that a reason? Guys, please don't bully me, I beg. I'm just if you bully me, you're bullying an autistic kid, so technically you're breaking the law. Remember, Equality Act 2010, freedom of speech and that. So shush. All of you Donnies who hate on me, shush G. Anywho, after this, of course, Naruto actually gets rid of this fire and then says, God damn it. And basically Naruto can feel something ominous inside this fire. I'm just saying it's a blue flame, if I didn't mention before. And Naruto knows that this blue flame is the flame that will take everything away from him, and he doesn't want to use it. And of course, just saying, this Kekkei is actually given by the Ninetales, because the Ninetales needs Naruto to actually get pissed once and literally annihilate everything. And the Ninetales has a plan to actually make Naruto literally lose control of himself and just give up on everything and just let the Ninetales control, and so take control. Anywho, now Naruto, who has been Naruto, who actually spotted Saki, then actually just throws a kunai at top speed, and Saki barely dodges because she has a Sharingan activated. Remember, Saki, even though she only had the one Tomoe Sharingan, two Tomoe, I'll say two Tomoe. Allow it, please. If I change, I'm so sorry. Anywho, of course, Saki then looks ahead towards Naruto, and Naruto didn't recognize who he was, because from what he can see, he couldn't really tell if it was a Sharingan or if it was just a beast or literally a creature. Naruto then started heading towards the creature, and literally, from what he thought it was a creature, and literally activates his Rinnegan and says, "You tell me who you are. If you're not someone I know, I shall kill you. Are you from this village?" And just saying, Naruto literally cannot understand who this is, because he's not thinking straight. He was actually kind of getting controlled by the flame that he just used, and that is something that Naruto knows about, but of course he didn't realize that he's actually being controlled right now. But it is what it is. Now basically Saki then says, "Hey Naruto, it's just me," and basically Naruto just blitzes towards her with his hand right in front of her face, and Naruto looking down and realizing who this is, and Saki expecting death right now because she sees Naruto's hand literally glowing blue, and basically Naruto then says, "Wait, what?" And literally, Saki actually then out of nowhere activating the Free-Tome Sharingan, and then actually elbowing Naruto, and of course in the chin, and Naruto actually went flying, just like what Naruto did against Sasuke in the Valley of the End, to counter, and Kurama was like, nice counter, and of course it is what it is now. Of course Naruto takes this as a challenge and starts smiling, and Saki has never seen this kind of smile on Naruto. She's never seen Naruto be so happy for something, and basically Naruto's like, yes, finally something interesting. And basically, of course, then Naruto and Saki actually have a little sparring session, and he actually goes not only just on that little, the Hokage stone face, but he actually moves towards the Team 7 training ground, and of course the fight keeps going, and it goes until pretty late. It goes until pretty late, and of course Naruto of course still wins as per normal, and Saki is fully worn out, and basically Naruto then says, "I'm sorry, Saki," and basically then Saki actually jumps back up, and Naruto falls to the ground, and Saki's on top of him, and basically then this is me developing the ship, and yeah, here's what it is. And sorry, I feel uncomfortable doing this, to be honest, but here's what it is. Now of course Naruto looks at Saki looks at Naruto, and they both blush, and basically they're like, "Oh, yeah, you okay?" And basically of course Naruto has never had this much fun in his life, to be honest, and it is what it is. Now of course Naruto gets back up and helps up Saki, and together they actually go towards home, and Saki's on Naruto's back, and Naruto of course is back to his normal self, and he was really apologetic towards Saki, especially because he believes he hurt her, and basically Saki then says, "It's fine, no problem, it doesn't hurt at all," and basically Naruto of course says okay, and is what is. Now Naruto and Saki, who of course now they return home. Saki asks, Naruto realizes that Saki is pretty injured, and so he actually goes ahead and literally goes into her house, and literally just heals, bandages her up, and is what is. Now after this, Naruto and Saki talk for a while, and just saying it's only like 10 p.m. by now, and yeah, no, sorry, not 10 p.m. Like 3 a.m. and of course they go sleep, and 5 hours later they wake up, and they actually go together. Of course, once they actually arrive, Sasuke was actually kind of confused on why Naruto and Saki came together, and they have all these bandages, and of course Sakura's like, "Did you get into a fight?" And Naruto's like, "Not really," and basically Saki then smiles and just says, "It's none of your business," and basically Naruto's like, what why are you making it so private?" And basically of course Naruto doesn't really like this, but is what is. Now of course now the Team 7 leaves, as per normal. They realize that there is a puddle, and remember, they've been training the whole entire month, so they realize, every single one of them actually realized that there is actually a puddle, and that's weird because it hasn't been raining at all in the past month. And basically now Naruto and Saki of course are ready for anything, and yeah, even the other members of Team 7, Sasuke and Sakura, and is what it is. Now of course as soon as the two demon brothers appear, Naruto just stays back, of course always looking apathetic, and he really doesn't care. That only thing happened once, and he doesn't care, even though he is starting to get closer to Saki, a bit more normal Naruto, but is what it is now. Anywho, of course, Sasuke and Sakura actually take care of the two demon brothers, and then Naruto goes ahead and literally questions them for Kakashi, and Kakashi makes the final decision of going back. But then of course Team 7 actually complains, and then Naruto then explains that he's been training them pretty well, they're more than ready enough to take on Chunin level shinobi right now. And of course Kakashi then says, I trust your judgment, Naruto. But of course then Naruto explains that if any Jonin level ninja actually appears, him and Kakashi will take care of it. No one else joins in the fight. If they do, they will return to the village straight away. And of course Tazuna's like, please don't do this. And of course Naruto's there, as long as these three stay put, it's fine, we won't go back. Anyway, of course Naruto and Kakashi are pretty worried about this, because even Naruto, even though they're ready to do a high rank mission, even a B rank mission, he believes he can accomplish it. But this could turn out to be an A rank mission, which actually I'm pretty sure it should have been an A rank mission, because Zabuza, okay, maybe with him high B rank, but then Haku as well, definitely an A rank, mid A rank or low A rank, I don't care which one it is. It's definitely an A rank. I'm not going to downgrade my boy Zabuza and freaking Haku. Remember, Haku's so OP. Anyway, of course, after this, Naruto and Team 7 actually continues their journey towards the bridge, the bridge builders, where the bridge builder is taking them to. Anywho, after this, Naruto of course is looking around, actually sensed something, and actually throws a kunai towards the bush, and basically a rabbit comes out, and they all understand what this is. This is definitely a substitution. And then out of nowhere, a sword starts swinging towards them, and basically they all duck, and Naruto's there, everyone be careful, something's coming. And of course Zabuza appears, and basically Kakashi then says, I'll take this on, and basically takes off his mask and uses his Sharingan. And of course everyone's pretty baffed except for Naruto, and then Naruto's like, Kakashi sensei, I'll take care of this, and basically Kakashi that it's fine, I got this. And of course now they actually get to see Kakashi's true strength, and from what they can see, Kakashi is just as good as Naruto, or even better, because Kakashi is showing a bit more than Naruto. Naruto is actually it hasn't shown any of his true abilities or true power, but Kakashi is showing quite a bit right now, especially using the Sharingan is pretty straining and everything. Of course that's going to take a lot out of him, and it's going to use a lot of power and show a lot of what he can do. Of course this ends the same way. Zabuza of course nearly Kakashi slipping and getting trapped in the water, in the water prison, and so Naruto actually decides to get in, and so he actually pulls back his gloves. Yes, Naruto has gloves just like as Vegeta did, Vegeta does usually, and anywho, that is a sick pose, just saying. Anywho, now Naruto of course and you could say that even you could even say that Sakura does that. She did that in the anime too. I'm pretty sure in the anime, or maybe it was just a picture, but it is what it is. Adult Sakura, just saying. Anywho, now after this, Naruto actually blitzes Zabuza and kicks him in the face, and literally Naruto with his hands in his pockets literally blitzes Zabuza. Literally, he pulls back his gloves, but then puts his hands in his pocket, and then just looks at Zabuza with an apathetic look, and literally a second later, his foot is in Zabuza's face, and Zabuza gets blown back, and he's like, what the? And after this, the rest of Team 7 are completely baffed on how Naruto did this. And yes, Naruto is pretty tall. You could say he's just a 15-year-old Naruto tall. Yes, that's how much Naruto has grown, and so he's a lot taller than usual Genin, usual 13, 12-year-olds. Anyway, now Naruto after this of course freed Kakashi, and Kakashi actually took the fight again, took care of the fight, and Zabuza was saved by Haku, and of course they go back to the village. They actually return to Tazuna's cottage or house, and anywho, after this Naruto and Team 7 actually still continue their training, and this time Kakashi actually joins in and actually trains Sasuke in his Sharingan, same as Sasuke, since Naruto really doesn't have, literally doesn't have the Sharingan, and he can't really train them with the Sharingan, and so Naruto personally takes care of Sakura Haruno's training, and so it is what it is. And anywho, now after this Naruto of course who Naruto, who has been training with Sakura, he sees that Sakura has improved so much, and so he actually tests out, finds out what her chakra nature is, and yes, Naruto actually has the chakra nature papers, and so he realizes that Sakura actually has Earth and Water style, and yes, I'm giving her an extra one. I'm pretty sure she doesn't have Water style, but she has Earth style. But it is what it is now. Anywho, after this, Naruto actually teaches her the Earth Shockwave and the Water Shockwave, which are two OP freaking jutsus. Naruto actually made up the Earth Shockwave, and that is a jutsu I have made up myself. But it is what it is now. Naruto, of course, who has taught this to Sakura. Sakura has actually learned this within a week, and Naruto did his own training during his free time, his spare time, and yeah, Naruto, of course. Anywho, after this, Naruto actually warned him. Well, he didn't really warn himself out, and Saki actually kind of got worried about Naruto not coming back. So she goes and searches for him, but is Naruto's just taking his time. He's just resting, and he actually met Haku, and here Naruto and Haku. Naruto had the hunch that he's already felt this chakra before, but he gives Haku the benefit of the doubt, and so Naruto and just talks to him and actually learns about the precious, or the having of precious one, and it just makes you stronger and stronger each time you want to protect them. But Naruto really doesn't have any precious one, but of course his precious ones, his precious ones are his little trio of students, and he thinks of, even though they're all the same age, he thinks of them as people who are younger than him, even though they're weaker than him. He really wants to protect them with everything he's got, and he wouldn't allow them to die. He wouldn't allow them to get hurt, because Naruto is their sensei, and he doesn't want them to get hurt in the first place. So Naruto, of course, actually says that you could say that he has a precious one. He says you could say I do have some precious ones, and basically, but as he says that, Saki actually comes to his mind, and then he's like, wait, what's this? And of course Naruto has never felt love, to be honest. Like, Naruto has been in the army since the age of 4, and he truly hasn't felt love yet, and all he's felt is pain and suffering throughout his whole entire life. And now it's the first time he's actually experiencing love. It's completely new to him. It's a complete new feeling, and it's really different. Anyway, of course, then Haku has to leave, realizing that Saki's coming. He could actually feel it, Naruto could feel it too, and he was kind of perplexed on why Haku just literally left as soon as Saki was nearby, and so he's like, oh, whatever, I guess it's just coincidence. And then Saki actually arrives to Naruto, and she's like, hey Naruto, why are you taking so long? I got worried. And basically Naruto's like, you really don't have to worry about me. And basically Saki's like, but why wouldn't I worry about you? And basically Naruto's like, Saki, you should worry about yourself, not me right now. Remember, tomorrow we have to go on a mission, go back. And basically Saki's like, aren't you gonna come? And basically Naruto's like, I'll come later, I don't want to come right now. And basically Naruto literally says that because he wants to rest a bit more, he wants to have his own free time, because he has been training and training Sakura this whole time. But it is what it is now. Of course Naruto, who now has been staying alone for another literally hour. Saki really wants to go back, but of course she knows that if she goes back, Naruto is going to kind of get angry, and she doesn't want to anger Naruto in any sort of way, so she just stays back. And so after this, half an hour later, Naruto actually returns, and his ways. Now, of course, Saki welcomes Naruto home, and Naruto just says, go to bed, Saki. And of course, Saki then listens, and his ways. Now, after this, of course, the next day, they actually wake up, and Naruto... Anywho, of course, Naruto actually wakes up late here, and Saki was like, oh, goddammit, I couldn't hang out with Naruto at all yesterday. I had to train with Kakashi. And of course, Kakashi was actually training them in the Chidori. Yes, Kakashi actually began the Chidori training, and yeah... of course, Saki really wanted to hang out with Naruto, but it is what it is. Now, after this, Naruto actually wakes up, brushes his teeth, washes his face, and realizes that he's late, but of course he's having breakfast. But then, of course, he's actually having breakfast, peacefully. But then out of nowhere, he hears Inari and his mother scream, and so he actually decides, he actually realizes that he needs to do something about this. There's no, he can't leave Inari just screaming like that, like there's something wrong. And of course, Naruto then literally blitzes, teleports away, not teleports, literally body flickers, like, like usual Shisui, and basically Naruto just, just slices the two in half, literally in half, and basically, of course, there was a clone of Naruto covering Inari's and his mother's eyes, and basically the two clones take them away, and of course Naruto now actually leaves, and of course the two clones say that they're gonna keep them safe, and here they should be safe, and yeah, after this Naruto actually leaves, the two clones actually disappear, and yeah, after this Inari thanks Naruto again, and basically Naruto's like, no problem, and yeah, of course, after this Naruto actually arrives at the battlefield and sees that Haku and not Haku, Sasuke and Saki are actually fighting this masked figure, and Naruto kinda feels the same familiar feeling, but he's like, oh no, it's because it's only last time, right? And basically he praises Sakura on staying back, on protecting them, and sees that Sasuke and Saki are actually struggling. Sasuke actually has already gotten the 2-tone Sharingan by now, and don't ask me how it's plotable, please guys, please allow it. And Sasuke has the 3-tone Sharingan, and Haku's kind of having a hard time, but then he actually uses the ice mirrors, and then says, Sakura, I'm entrusting you with Tazuna's life. I taught you 2 different jutsus, and they should be useful for this exact mission under Sakura. And Sakura nods, and basically Naruto then comes out of nowhere, breaks one of the ice mirrors with just one foot, and basically tells Saki and Sakura and Sasuke to run now. And basically Saki and Sasuke wanted to stay in, but of course Naruto tells them now, and he's being serious, and so they actually run out, and the ice mirror was broken, and Haku couldn't recover it because for some reason Naruto, he actually lost a lot of chakra, not for some reason, literally he lost a ton of chakra just fighting the 2 Uchihas, and it is what it is. Now after this, Naruto and Sasuke and Saki actually run away, not run away, listen to Naruto and just flee from the scene, and literally Naruto starts fighting Haku one-on-one. Of course, Haku is actually tries to throw Senbon at Naruto, and Naruto is dodging most of them, and one actually hits Naruto's neck, and Naruto is kind of paralyzed for a second there, but out of nowhere Haku actually freezes one of Naruto's sides, and it just had to be his right side, and Naruto then says you just had to do the wrong side, and basically Haku's like, what? And now the ice actually melted instantly, and basically Naruto's Naruto's right side is covered with blue fire, and basically Naruto then blitzes Haku, and Haku tries to create an ice mirror to protect himself, but Naruto literally warps through it basically. No, I'm joking, he just melts through it, and melts the ice mirror, and now Naruto, of course, after this Naruto actually destroyed Haku's mask, and Haku's on the ground. Haku's actually quite injured after this fight, and yeah, Naruto of course then looks at Haku in the face, and he's like, Haku, just why out of everyone, why did you have to choose Zabuza as your precious one? And basically then Haku explains everything to Naruto, and Naruto then says, I understand. And basically then they both hear the sound of 1,000 birds, and Haku actually blitzes past Naruto and just protects Zabuza, and of course Naruto sees this and kinda is sad, but he's trying to control himself because he knows that if he goes rage, he's going to attack the Kakashi, because he just used his fire side, well not fire side, he's a Kekkei Genkai without actually wanting to, but it is what it is. Then out of nowhere, of course, out of nowhere he hears the word, the phrase, finally this tool, the sentence, finally this tool served this purpose, and Naruto's eyes widened in anger, to be honest, and he's like, tool, you say? Did you just say tool? And as soon as he says this, Naruto, of course, creates a few smoke bombs, and literally, with the Rinnegan actually strangles, Zabuza, and Zabuza's like, what are you doing? And basically Naruto's like, apologize right now. Haku gave his life up for you, and you call him a tool? What kind of human being are you? Are you even a human being? Tell me that. Answer me, Zabuza. And of course Zabuza then, of course Naruto actually gives a small talk no jutsu. I say small, but it kind of changed, of course, Zabuza, and is what it is. And now, of course, Naruto, Zabuza actually, of course, Gato, sorry, not Zabuza. Gato still appears, and he still, of course, tells Zabuza that he wasn't going to pay him at all, and he was just using him. And yeah, of course, this pissed off Naruto, and of course Naruto went rage, and Zabuza went rage too, and they both attacked the Gato's men, and basically Naruto and Zabuza were able to finish them off. And basically Naruto then sees Zabuza falling to the ground and literally crawling towards Haku, and then just dying next to Haku. And Naruto then says, a worthy end for a worthy opponent. And basically what he means by that is that Zabuza was a really strong opponent, and literally is it's been an emotional fight for Naruto, and it's been he hasn't had a fight like this for a while. Especially the last fight that he had like this was against Danzo, and he kind of wanted to thank Zabuza and Haku for teaching him something new, teaching him the value of someone's life, the value of friendship. But of course Naruto doesn't have any friends, to be honest, and so even though he understood the value of friendship, he doesn't have any friends to actually, try this out with, or protect or anything, because Naruto has never ever had the chance to make any friends, so he doesn't have any friends. Anywho, after this, Saki looked at Naruto, and Naruto looked really sad. Naruto actually shed a tear for Zabuza and Haku, and she's never seen Naruto cry or anything like that. To be honest, she always thought that Naruto was the strong one who would never cry. But of course, that Naruto is a human being, and basically after Zabuza's and Haku's death, Naruto actually was kind of hurt. Well, not kind of, really hurt, especially because of Naruto actually being friends with Haku. Of course, that was really sad for Naruto, seeing his friend dying and in front of him, and it reminded him of how Itachi asked him to take care of his siblings, and how of course Shisui died right in front of him. Not in front of him, Shisui died, and without him actually knowing what really happened. Of course he saw it afterwards, but still it really saddened him and it made him really sad. And so Naruto after this actually told them Team 7 that they have to help the bridge builder finish the bridge as fast as possible, and they need to return to the village. And of course Naruto's gone back to his sensei mode now, and he doesn't want to show any weaknesses towards to his team, because if he shows that he's weak, his team are not going to be motivated to actually be stronger and get any stronger. And of course they're going to be like, oh, if our sensei is weak, how are you meant to get stronger or anything like that? And so Naruto then goes back to his normal self, and it was really easy for Naruto to stabilize himself, and that is because of Naruto actually experiencing this feeling of loss before. But this time it was a bit more tragic, because Naruto has actually seen his real friend die right in front of him, and at the hands of another elite shinobi. And of course that happened to Shisui as well, but Shisui's one was different, because of course Shisui, he's never seen Shisui actually die, but of course afterwards he did. Anywho, after this they return to the village a week later, and Naruto and actually goes to his home, and he gets ready, and he goes to the meeting with the Hokage and reports everything. Yes, Naruto actually went home before and had a shower, and now he's actually gone to the Hokage with Kakashi to give the report of the mission and how they completed it, and that was an actual A rank mission. And Kakashi was about to say B rank, but then Naruto's like A rank over him, and basically Kakashi's like, I'm pretty sure it was a B rank, and Naruto's like, you don't understand. if Haku is much stronger than what you think he is. He's not as weak as you think he is. He's much stronger than anyone that was in our if he was a one-on-one against our three Genin, he would have killed them easily. He's easily Jonin levels, so don't underestimate Haku. Do you understand that? And of course, Naruto, Kakashi then says, well, he did have a pretty strong Kekkei, and Naruto's like, you see, he's not as weak as you thought. And basically, then Kakashi apologizes and says, yes, A rank mission. And yeah, of course, the Hokage is like, well, anyways, to actually break the tension between the two, says, well done on actually completing this A rank mission with a Genin team. I appreciate your work. I shall give you a good payment. And basically Naruto's like, payment, give my share to my students and the team 7. And basically Kakashi's like, but why Naruto? You worked really hard in this mission. Naruto's like, I didn't do anything, to be honest. All I did was just train Sakura. That's pretty much it. And of course, Kakashi does really didn't understand what Naruto's doing. This is why Naruto is not taking any credit, because Naruto's the one who actually, stopped Haku from actually killing the two, and actually, changed Zabuza at the last moment. But it is what it is. Now, Naruto, of course, went home, and Sasuke actually knocked at his door, and Naruto of course opened, and basically he looked really sad, and Sasake's like, why are you sad, Naruto? And basically Naruto's like, I'm not sad, what do you want, Sasuke? And basically Sasuke could tell that Naruto is a bit sadder than usual. Well, he always looks sad, to be honest, but it is what it is. Naruto is just how Naruto looks, to be honest. Like, have you ever seen Itachi just smile randomly like Naruto usually does? No, Itachi had to have a real good reason to really smile. If you think about it, that's really how Itachi was. He wasn't like Shisui. Shisui pretty much was a Naruto, just like a prodigy Uchiha Naruto, but of course this is a prodigy, well, not really a prodigy, a Itachi kind of Naruto, but it is what it is now. Anywho, of course Naruto then tells her to go home and get rest, because tomorrow they will be training again. And of course Naruto knows about the Chunin exams, and he's going to tell the team himself, since he knows that Kakashi is not even going to be there. So he actually told Team 7 to actually that they will have, of course Team 7 will have a meeting on the next day, and yeah, of course it was about the Chunin exams. And yeah, the Chunin exams were told, the Team 7 was told about the Chunin exams, and so they had to train for the next 2 weeks. And yeah, of course Sasuke and Saki and Sakura took it really seriously, because they do want to become Chunin, and they asked Naruto why isn't he taking them. And basically Naruto's like, if you guys didn't understand, I am a Jonin team assistant leader assistant. And basically of course they were like, oh yeah, Naruto is pretty much a Jonin, even though he never took any exams or anything like similar to anything like that. But it is what it is. Now Naruto, who of course has told Team 7, goes home and just rests, sleeps for most of the day. But it is what it is. Then Naruto actually wakes up at night and goes out of his home and goes to his favorite spot in the village, the Hokage stone, the full Hokage stone face statue, or whatever you call it. Anywho, now of course Naruto was just looking at the sky and was reminiscing of his only 3 friends, to be honest, in that he's ever had in this world, which were of course Haku, Shisui, and Itachi. Itachi left the village because he wanted to protect his 2 siblings. He gave up everything for his 2 siblings, and Haku died, Shisui died. But it is what it is. Now Naruto was just reminiscing about them and just shed a tear, and basically Sasuke then actually came out of nowhere and literally said, why are you crying, Naruto? And basically Naruto wipes away his tears and says, what do you want, Sasuke? Tell me right now. And basically Sasuke gets closer to him and says, why are you crying, Naruto? And basically Naruto was actually sitting down. He wasn't really standing up, and literally he was on the floor, and Sasuke was just crawling towards him, and she will actually wipe away Naruto's tear, and she's like, why are you crying? And of course Naruto then says, it's none of your business, Sasuke, you should be sleeping, you have to train tomorrow. on your own. And basically Saki's like, I was training, but then I saw you coming here. And basically Naruto then's like, is it? And basically, of course, he doesn't really think about Saki actually worrying about him. He doesn't really understand love. Like I said before, Naruto hasn't really felt love in his life, and it doesn't cross his mind about love that he likes Saki or Saki likes him. He doesn't cross his mind at all, and so it's just like, oh yeah, Saki, whatever. And yeah, anywho, now after this, of course, Naruto and well, Naruto tells Saki to go home, and Saki actually obliges, and she's like, okay, I'll go home now. And yeah, of course, after this, once she actually arrived home, she actually saw Naruto by his ways. 2 weeks have passed, and of course the Chunin exams begin on this day. And yeah, Team 7 is ready to actually begin their Chunin exams, well, their first ever Chunin exam. And here I will skip the first exam because of course the first exam is easy. It's really irrelevant. And now the Forest of Death. Of course, in the Forest of Death, only Sasuke is bitten here, and so once they return, Naruto is actually the one to actually seal away the curse mark. And Kakashi actually told the Hokage about this, and the Hokage actually increased the security in the village. And after this, of course, Naruto got pretty pissed that someone dared to actually hurt one of his students, and so he actually decided to become one of the security guards in the next Chunin exam. Well, in the next part of the Chunin exam, you know, the preliminaries. And of course, a few days pass and the preliminaries begin. Here the preliminaries go pretty much the same, just that the double knockout actually happens to Hinata and Neji, because Sakura is a lot stronger here, and Saki wins her fight against Kiba, which with finesse, and of course Sasuke wins his. And yeah, of course everything goes the same. And now we skip to the finals. A month later, well, no, sorry. And now we have the 1 month training. Of course, Saki and Sasuke actually are with Kakashi. They will be training with Kakashi for this 1 month because, of course, Kakashi hasn't finished their training in the first place, and so they will be training with Kakashi for the foreseeable future. I'm joking, for just this month, and it is what it is. Now, of course, Kakashi then tells them that this training will be even harder than the one that they did before, and so they should get ready to actually go through near death. And of course, after this training, well, during this time, Naruto, who of course is one of the security, well, he's part of the security team for the training exams, and of course he's an Anbu here, so he's wearing his Anbu mask. And of course Naruto really has nothing to do for this 1 month, and so he actually goes around and roams around the village because he literally has nothing to do right now, and it is what it is. Now after this, Naruto actually looks up in the sky while walking forwards, and basically Naruto is getting all the looks, and basically you know how everyone hates him, and so he doesn't want to look at them. But then he bumps into someone, and basically Jiraiya then says, oh, you must be the infamous Naruto. And basically Naruto's like, and who might you be? And then he looks properly and he realizes that this is, you know, the legendary Sanin Jiraiya. And yeah, after this anywho, Naruto then says, oh, you must be the legendary Sanin Jiraiya. So you came back to the village. And basically Jiraiya's like, yes, I have. So Naruto's Maki, I've heard that you've joined the Anbu. And basically Naruto's like, I don't really care what you heard of, please leave me alone now. And basically then Jiraiya's like, how about I teach you a technique? And basically Naruto never really had anything to learn from Jiraiya, but then Jiraiya actually says, I can even teach you some things about the Rinnegan. This is what intrigues Naruto, and basically Naruto's like, okay. So for the next month, Naruto actually takes a leave from his security guard job, and so he actually spends the time with Jiraiya, actually bonding with him. And Naruto actually never really smiles, but he smiled once or twice, which made Jiraiya really happy. And basically Jiraiya actually told him that he is his godfather, and Naruto asks about his parents, but then Jiraiya says, I shall tell you in due time. Right now, I cannot. How about we do this? On your 16th birthday, I shall tell you who your parents are. And this is of course a foreshadow to Naruto losing everything, of course, as I said before. But of course it's a foreboding, to be honest, but it is what it is. I'm not going to make Jiraiya die, I know that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to make him die. He's going to survive. He's going to survive, my guy. Anywho, Naruto of course learns the Rasengan during this 1 month, and he actually learns another technique of his Rinnegan, a useless one, to be honest, that he doesn't want to use, and it's the Naraka path. And of course he actually learns well, of course, after this Naruto actually finished his training with Jiraiya, and Jiraiya says good luck on your job, and basically Naruto said, don't worry, I'll I won't fail this. And basically actually smiles and hugs Jiraiya, because he feels comfortable around Jiraiya. He finally feels loved by someone. He finally feels he finally understands what it feels to have family, and this is something that Naruto has never had in his life. No, and it is what it is. Now of course Naruto actually goes back to his normal self, and he is now actually one of the guards for the Hokage, well, not the Hokage, actually the Chunin exams. And so he's actually well, you know, looking after, surveilling the Chunin exams. And of course the first fight is Sakura versus Sasuke. Yes, here Sasuke and Sasuke actually come on time, and Sasuke's fight will just be last because of plot convenience. And yeah, anywho, Naruto is watching the fights, and here the fight is actually really interesting because Sasuke and Sakura have both been trained by Naruto, and of course Sasuke is an old range fighter, while Sakura is actually a close range fighter. But of course Sasuke does not know that Naruto has trained Sakura into becoming one of the best mid-range fighters in the whole entire one of the best Genins to ever know how to fight close range, whatever, you know what I mean. She's actually really strong now, and is what is. After this Sasuke kind of underestimated Sakura, and of course after this Naruto actually says don't underestimate Sakura, she's not that weak. And of course Sakura actually did a punch to the ground, which actually got Sasuke off of her balance. Of course Sasuke lost her balance and actually fell to the floor, and Sakura was coming for another punch to her hip to actually finish Sasuke off. But of course that didn't work out too well for, of course, Sakura, because Sasuke was actually able to use body flicker to actually body flicker waist to somewhere else where she wasn't going to get hit by Sakura. And then she actually knocks out Sakura with a chop to her neck. And basically this kind of of course this fight was pretty interesting because Sakura actually literally turned the tables on Sasuke. Sasuke was the favored one by a lot of the crowd, and they thought that Sasuke was going to win with ease. But of course Sakura turned the tables on everyone, on Sasuke, and nearly won the fight, because of Sasuke actually underestimating Sakura. But it is what it is. After this, of course, Naruto actually was really impressed by both of his two students, and so he congratulated. Well, of course, then it's actually Shikamaru's fight, which Naruto and Shikamaru are not really good friends right now. But it is what it is. They will become good friends in the future. And yeah, anywho, after this, Naruto actually watches the next few fights, and he's actually really intrigued by Shikamaru, and you can see a bit of things that Shikamaru should improve on. And so he actually takes initiative, and he wants to go up. He actually goes up to Shikamaru after the fight, and actually tells Shikamaru that he can actually help him get stronger. And basically Shikamaru's like, it's just a drag, I don't wanna. And basically Naruto's like, please, I really want to train you. And basically Naruto really wants to train Shikamaru, because he knows that Shikamaru could become one of the strongest shinobi in the whole entire Leaf Village if he actually trains with him. And so Shikamaru says, okay, after the Chunin exams finish, I'll think about it. And basically, of course, Naruto could be the next assistant for Team 10 as well, because he has been the assistant for Team 7, and he really doesn't need to be the assistant anymore. But of course, now Naruto and actually watches Shino's fight, which is actually a forfeit. For Shino wins default because Kankuro forfeited, and then is Sasuke's fight. Sasuke's fight actually goes per normal, and of course Gaara goes rage, and this is when the attack actually begins. Of course none of Team 7 was actually affected, and basically, of course, Sasuke actually went off to go and find Gaara, and basically Naruto is the one to actually go and actually retrieve Sasuke, and Sakura and Sasuke actually stayed back because Naruto actually told them to, and said, no, do not come at any moment. Literally, you're not allowed. If you come, I'm going to be pretty pissed. Do not come. Literally, he makes it clear not for them not to come because it's dangerous. Anywho, after this, Naruto actually goes and finds Sasuke with the curse mark, and basically Sasuke getting pummeled, and just saying he beat Conqueror and Temari and all the ninjas that were following him, and now he's fighting, of course, you know, the tail beast one tails, and just saying, Naruto has learned the summoning jutsu, but here Naruto really doesn't need it, and so he only uses his Rinnegan. And yes, Naruto's using his Rinnegan and uses the automatic push once, and then he creates a massive Rasengan. Yes, Naruto has already learned how to do the massive Rasengan because Naruto is a prodigy and he has the Rinnegan, so he kind of has a lot of wisdom and a lot of understanding over jutsu, and that's why he learns things so fast. And here's what it is now. After this, Naruto actually takes care of the One Tails and literally ends the fight there. And yeah, here's what it is. And of course, the third Hokage was still alive by then because Naruto finished the fight much earlier against Gaara as usual than usual. And yeah, after this, of course, Naruto, actually returned to the arena with Sasuke and Gaara's bodies, and he realized that maybe the Hokage might need some help, and so he actually decides to, body flicker into the, he's actually able to get into the, barrier that was created by the Soundfall, and Naruto actually helps out the Hokage. Right before he does his, Reaper Death Seal, Naruto actually appears, and he's actually able to save the Hokage from using this because the Hokage, he saw that Naruto actually arrived, and Naruto actually then took care of, the first and second Hokage's reincarnations because, Naruto actually had sealing techniques that he learned from Jiraiya. Yes, Naruto actually knew that, and plus, to be honest, Naruto tried that first, but it didn't really work out for him, and then he actually used, the Rinnegan's another ability of the Rinnegan that he learned on the spot. Yes, Naruto learned this one on the spot. Literally, as did say, Naruto will develop new abilities over time, and this is the time for Naruto to actually awaken another one, and it's the sealing dragons, the one that was used with Nagato used. Yes, this is one of the abilities. Well, it's not really one of the 6 abilities of the Rinnegan, but it's something that the Rinnegan user can actually use, and this is actually something that has been used in the past, but it is in the anime as well. I think it was in an OVA, but it's canon, that's for sure. Anywho, now Naruto, of course, sealing away the 2 Hokage, actually then tries to steal away Orochimaru, but he actually runs out of chakra. Yes, Naruto actually ran out of chakra after using that, because he's not used to using that kind of ability, and so now after this, Naruto actually falls to the ground, and Orochimaru actually lost the ability to use his arms, and yeah, Naruto is now on the floor, and of course the Soundfall take away Orochimaru, and after this, Naruto actually tells the Hokage that of course Naruto is actually the Hokage actually asks Jiraiya to become the 5th Hokage, but of course Jiraiya declines, saying that the best person to become Hokage is Tsunade, because he doesn't believe he is worthy to become Hokage. He doesn't deserve it or anything like that. I don't even know why he doesn't want to become it, but it is what it is. He thinks that Tsunade is would be a much better Hokage than him, and he promises that he will bring her back. But of course here Jiraiya and Naruto go. Yes, Naruto actually went here, and since Sasuke actually, of course Naruto actually wanted to go because Jiraiya actually said that he can actually teach him the next state of the Rasengan, and basically Naruto actually really wanted to learn the next stage of the Rasengan, but it is what it is, and that is to learn how to actually add the chakra nature to it. And Naruto could actually learn that on his own, because he actually knows chakra transformation and chakra nature, but it is what it is. Now of course he still wants to spend time with his godfather, and he doesn't want to waste any time. And so of course here the Akatsuki still attack the two Akatsuki members still arrive, and Kakashi is put under the Genjutsu, and of course Sasuke and Saki actually go and find you know how Naruto got the knock on his door. And I'm making this a bit vague because it's really irrelevant to actually say, oh, they walked there and blah blah blah, this happened and that, because it's really not important for this what if. But it is what it is. Now after this, Naruto actually saw that Sasuke got annihilated by Itachi, and Saki was actually paralyzed by basically Saki was really scared, and so she actually stayed paralyzed. She doesn't really want to fight Itachi because she knows that Itachi would annihilate her, especially because Sasuke got destroyed really quick, and he is what he is. And basically Itachi did say that Naruto is much stronger than him, and if Naruto is the same age as him, it shouldn't Sasuke be as strong or even stronger than Naruto. But of course he's just taking the piss here literally. Of course Naruto would be stronger. He has been in the Anbu, he has more experience, and he has the Rinnegan, of course. And anywho, after this Naruto actually fought off the two Akatsuki members until Jiraiya and Guy actually came. He could have killed Kisame and allowed Itachi to actually get away, but of course he didn't have the time to because of Saki and Sasuke actually being there, and he didn't want to get them in the crossfire, and so he actually decided to hold back until the two members he didn't know that Guy would arrive, but he knew that Jiraiya was actually gonna come, and so because he felt Jiraiya's chakra actually coming towards Naruto. And yeah, after this Jiraiya arrived and they escaped, and yeah, Guy took both Saki and Sasuke back. And of course now Naruto, who of course needed to bring back what's her name Tsunade as soon as possible. Of course he actually convinces Tsunade when they actually meet them, because Naruto actually gives an inspirational speech literally talking no jutsu to her. And of course, since she looked like her lover, she had the same smile as her brother. And remember, Naruto played a major role in this arc of the series, but it is what it is now. Of course Tsunade returns, and there is no Orochimaru versus Naruto and Kabuto versus Tsunade. All that shenanigan never happens, and it is what it is. Now Naruto, of course, returns to the village with Tsunade, the fifth Hokage, and it is what it is. After this, of course, Naruto actually decided to continue his training with Team 7, but he actually came to visit Sasuke, and Sasuke still challenged Naruto because he thought that he was jealous of Naruto, and how Itachi said that he's weak and everything, and it is what it is. Now of course Naruto declines and saying that, Sasuke, you're injured, you just recovered, I'm not going to fight you. And of course Sasuke says, do you think I'm weak? And Naruto then says, right now you're definitely weak, especially because you have been injured and Itachi Uchiha has attacked you. There's no way you can fight me right in this condition. And basically then Sasuke says that you really do think you're underestimating me too much, Naruto. And basically, of course, then Naruto says, do you really want to fight Sasuke? And of course they take it outside, and here the same thing happens. And of course Naruto actually doesn't get stopped by Kakashi. Naruto was actually able to destroy Sasuke, and of course Sasuke actually got very pissed, and Kakashi actually arrived, and then Kakashi says that I'll take care of this. And of course after this Kakashi actually of course took care of Sasuke and still gave him this speech just like in the original. I'll roll it in now. Thank you to Words Beyond Fiction for this, and here it goes.
What's this all about? Sorry, but I knew you wouldn't want to sit still for a lecture, so I figured I had to pin you down. Let it go. You've got to forget about revenge. What? Believe me, in this work I've met a lot of guys who feel the way you do. Trust me, for those who follow the path of revenge, it never ends well. You'll only tear yourself apart, and even if you succeed and you get your revenge, what will you have then? Nothing. Emptiness.
Shut up! What makes you think you know anything about it? It's easy for you to talk, you have no idea!
Easy. Just try to calm down.
Maybe if I was to kill the most important people in your life, everyone who's ever meant anything, maybe then I'd listen to you, because maybe then you'd have some idea how I feel!
It's an interesting theory, but I'm afraid you're a little late to put it to the test.
And after this, of course, Sasuke continues his training, and he actually gets a visit by the Sound Force, and they show him true power with the Curse Mark 2, and so Sasuke still decides to go with them. And Sakura, who still likes Sasuke a lot, of course, sees Sasuke at night, and basically she gets knocked out, and Sasuke says thank you for everything. And of course, Naruto actually going out on his night walks, and you know, Sasuke still training. They actually find Sakura, and that's where I'm going to end off. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please subscribe to Ratreet, and also subscribe to Miniman123 and Kazama. Follow Shoka on Instagram, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and also join my Discord server, and the links in the description below. And also don't forget to use code MEME for 5% off on your next $49 plus order on Beautiful Halo. And if you want 10% off, or if only you order $99 plus of merchandise from Beautiful Halo, you can use code MEME to get 10% off. And don't forget to use my link in the description below so you can support the channel. And also hope you will stay safe. Remember, this disease is still out there. I don't know if I can say the name on YouTube, because YouTube is kind of crazy right now, and I don't want to get demonetized. It really demoralizes me, and plus it's not all about the monetization. I really want to entertain all of you, and it is what it is. Anywho, this was the King of Weebs here, my ducklings. You are now dismissed, and peace.